Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're diving deep into AP World History, Unit 7, Topic 7, How World War II was fought. This wasn't just a repeat of World War I. This was a whole new kind of conflict, a total war that reshaped the globe. So grab your notebooks and let's get into it. First, let's talk about what made this war so different. We're talking about a total war. This means governments mobilized every single resource they had. Economies were completely reoriented for war production. Factories that once made cars were now churning out tanks and planes. Governments also used extensive propaganda to keep morale high and demonize the enemy. They controlled information, rationed goods like food and gasoline, and conscripted millions into the military. Everyone, from soldiers on the front lines to factory workers back home, was part of the war effort. Now, let's look at the actual fighting. The war began in Europe with Germany's blitzkrieg or lightning war. This was a revolutionary military tactic. Instead of getting bogged down in trenches like in World War I, the Germans used fast-moving, coordinated attacks with tanks, planes, and infantry to overwhelm their opponents. This strategy was devastatingly effective in the early years, allowing Germany to conquer Poland, France, and much of Europe with shocking speed. The Battle of Britain was a crucial turning point. Germany tried to bomb Britain into submission using its air force, the Luftwaffe, but the British Royal Air Force, aided by new radar technology, held them off. This was Germany's first major defeat. Meanwhile, the war on the Eastern Front between Germany and the Soviet Union was brutal and on a massive scale. Germany's surprise invasion, Operation Barbarossa, initially pushed deep into Soviet territory. But the sheer size of the Soviet Union, its massive population, and the harsh Russian winter eventually turned the tide. The Battle of Stalingrad was a key turning point here. After a long and bloody siege, the Soviet army surrounded and defeated the German Sixth Army. From that point on, the Soviets were on the offensive, pushing the Germans all the way back to Berlin. This front was responsible for the vast majority of military casualties in the European theater. Over in the Pacific, the war had its own unique character. Japan, seeking to build an empire, had already been at war with China since 1937. Their surprise attack on the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor in December 1941 brought the United States officially into the war. The U.S. response was a strategy called island hopping. Instead of capturing every single Japanese-held island, which would have been incredibly costly, U.S. forces strategically bypassed heavily fortified islands and instead seized key, less defended islands to use as bases for the next advance. This allowed them to steadily move closer to Japan. The Battle of Midway was the turning point in the Pacific. The U.S. Navy, having cracked Japanese naval codes, was able to ambush and sink for Japanese aircraft carriers, crippling their fleet for the rest of the war. Technology played a massive role in how this war was fought. We already mentioned radar in the Battle of Britain, but there was also sonar for detecting submarines, huge advancements in aircraft from long-range bombers to jet fighters, and of course, the atomic bomb. The development of the atomic bomb under the Manhattan Project was a top-secret U.S. effort. The U.S. decision to drop atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945 was made with the goal of forcing a quick Japanese surrender and avoiding a costly land invasion. The devastating power of these weapons brought the war to a swift and terrifying end, ushering in the nuclear age and fundamentally changing the nature of global power. So, how did it all end? In Europe, the Allies launched the D-Day invasion of Normandy in June 1944, opening a new front in Western Europe. Squeezed between the Allies advancing from the west and the Soviets from the east, Germany surrendered in May 1945 in the Pacific. Following the atomic bombings and the Soviet Union's declaration of war on Japan, Japan surrendered in August 1945, officially ending World War II. To wrap it up for your AP exam, remember these key ideas. First, World War II was a total war, involving the complete mobilization of societies. Second, new military tactics like blitzkrieg and island hopping defined the fighting. Third, crucial turning point battles like Stalingrad, Midway, and D-Day shifted the momentum of the war. And finally, technological advancements, especially the atomic bomb, had a profound and lasting impact on the conflict and the world that followed. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more AP World Review content. Keep up the great work, and I'll see you in the next video.